Take a look at this chart. It maps out one of the most efficient return on investment models in modern agriculture. A standard 1-acre muskmelon farm requires a baseline investment of roughly 20 to 25,000 rupees. But within a single season, that initial input can generate up to 3.5 lakh rupees in profit. As this second tier shows, you can push those margins even further. By doubling the upfront investment to 50,000 rupees, farmers can implement drip irrigation and protective mulching. This secures the crop from environmental stress and creates a highly stable, protected profit margin. There is a catch. This high financial return is only accessible during a specific planting window. You have to get the seeds in the ground between mid-December and mid-February. Missing that window aligns your harvest with a flooded market where prices collapse. Beyond the tight schedule, the muskmelon is a biologically fragile crop. A minor miscalculation in soil calcium levels, or watering a few days late, triggers a chemical breakdown inside the plant. This leaves dark, permanent spots on the fruit, destroying its commercial value. Because the growing window is 60 to 65 days, and the plant is highly sensitive, achieving the 3.5 lakh target requires replacing traditional guesswork with a technical farming blueprint. Looking at this pH scale, you can see the ideal baseline for muskmelons. The soil needs to be a sandy loam, and the slider must lock between 7 and 8 to support the plant's delicate root system. Avoid saline or calcareous soils. High calcium breaks down essential sulfates and carbonates, directly causing blemishes that ruin the fruit's commercial quality. Once the soil is verified, seed selection is the next variable. 3 hybrid varieties dominate the market: Namdari Suno, Nirmal 24, and Greenfield Glory. These are bred for heavy, uniform fruits with high sugar content. This basal dose checklist breaks down the chemical foundation required during field preparation. For every acre, you mix 10 kilos each of urea, DAP, and MOP potash, combined with 4 kilos of zinc sulfate and 4 kilos of magnesium sulfate. For hybrid varieties, you only need exactly 100 grams of seed per acre. Because midwinter soil is cold, soaking these seeds in warm water before planting breaks dormancy and accelerates the germination rate. This blueprint grid maps out the geometric layout for the field. Rows must be spaced 2 feet apart. Within those rows, individual seeds are placed with a 70 to 80 centimeter buffer between them. Maintaining these precise measurements maximizes the number of viable plants per acre, ensuring the field operates at its peak biological capacity. Around day 15, the plant hits its first major milestone. You apply a spray of NPK 19-19-19 to support rapid vegetative growth. The second trigger happens when the vines begin to spread across the field. You apply 15 to 20 kilos of urea, delivering the nitrogen spike needed to build the physical structure for holding heavy fruit. This development timeline highlights 2 critical nodes. At first flower, a 0:52:34 phosphorus and potassium mix is applied to support high yield. Later, during fruit development, a 13:0:45 mix provides the final nutritional push, ensuring maximum weight and top market shine. Water requirements fluctuate significantly across the crop's life cycle. While young vines need little moisture, demand spikes once the fruit begins to swell and accumulate mass. Success depends on maintaining 60 to 65% soil moisture. During peak heat, this requires a 7 to 8 day watering cycle. Managing the muskmelon requires aligning chemical delivery with specific biological growth phases, rather than relying on a fixed maintenance schedule. In the final weeks before harvest, aphids and fruit flies can descend on the field, capable of destroying weeks of growth in mere days. Fungal diseases present an equally significant threat. Downy mildew and gummy stem blight thrive in the microclimate under the leaves, rotting the stems and fruit. You cannot afford to be reactive. Waiting until you see visible damage on the leaves means the yield is already dropping. Success requires strict, pre-planed fungicide and pesticide spray schedules throughout the final development window. During these last 2 weeks, a proactive chemical defense is the only barrier protecting your initial investment and final profit. This equation shows how the spacing blueprint pays off. By maintaining proper plant density, you secure 6,000 to 6,500 plants per acre. At an average of 3 kilos of fruit per plant, you reach 18,000 kilograms of total yield. When we apply a market rate of 20 rupees per kilo, the final gross revenue clears 3.6 lakhs, pushing toward the 4 lakh mark. Before you buy seeds, check with local farmers to see which hybrid variety performs best in your specific climate, as regional variance dictates final output. If you want to capitalize on high market rates, the window is closing. Start prepping your soil now to catch the mid-January to mid-February sowing season. By following these technical steps, muskmelon farming shifts from high-risk guesswork to a high-yield agricultural model with predictable returns on a 25,000 rupee investment.